Forbes' real-time snapshot placed Larry Ellison in the top 10, with wealth driven primarily by Oracle. This episode is not about admiring money for its own sake. It is a business case study. How the fortune was built, what assets drive it, what setbacks shaped it, and what a normal viewer can actually learn from it. Larry Ellison's fortune was built under the surface of modern business. Databases are not glamorous, but companies run on them. If a bank, airline, retailer, or government agency cannot trust its data systems, everything else stops. Oracle grew by selling relational database software into the enterprise market. The more critical the system, the more valuable reliability became. That gave Oracle pricing power, durability, and long customer relationships. Ellison's wealth comes mainly from his Oracle stake. The company's story later expanded into enterprise applications, acquisitions, and cloud infrastructure. In recent years, AI demand and cloud workloads helped renew investor attention. Ellison's public style has often been competitive and blunt. He built Oracle as a company willing to fight hard, buy strategically, and defend its place in the corporate technology stack. His lifestyle is unusually visible compared with some other technology billionaires. Lanai, yachting, major real estate, and high-profile media exposure connected to his family's involvement in entertainment. The lesson is that essential infrastructure can be more valuable than visible products. If you solve a painful, mission-critical problem, customers may stay for decades. The major business and asset map is Oracle, enterprise databases, cloud, enterprise software, Lanai, Paramount's guidance exposure. The publicly documented lifestyle angle is high-end real estate, the purchase of most of Lanai, yachting history, and a taste for ambitious, expensive projects. The main work principles are enterprise durability, aggressive competition, mission-critical infrastructure, high switching costs. The main setbacks and risks are cloud perception challenges, customer lock-in criticism, enterprise competition, acquisition complexity. Now look at the fortune like an editor reading a balance sheet. The headline number is dramatic, but the mechanism matters more. Larry Ellison's wealth is not sitting mostly as cash in a bank account. It is tied to ownership, market valuation, private company estimates, and assets that move as investors reassess the future. That means the fortune can change quickly, sometimes by billions in a day, without the person buying or selling anything. That is why the asset engine matters. In this case, the main map is Oracle, enterprise databases, cloud, enterprise software, Lanai, Paramount's guidance exposure. Each asset tells a different part of the story. Some create operating profit. Some create strategic control. Some create optionality, meaning they may not be the biggest source of wealth today, but they could matter more if the market shifts. There is also a timing lesson. Huge fortunes usually come from being early to a structural change and then staying exposed to it for a long time. The change might be electric transportation, search advertising, cloud computing, artificial intelligence, enterprise software, social networking, sports franchises, or global retail logistics. The public often sees the famous person after the outcome is obvious. The wealth was usually created years earlier, when the bet still looked uncertain. This is where the business map matters. The companies, products, and ownership stakes explain far more than the headline ranking. Viewers should understand the difference between salary, revenue, profit, ownership, and net worth. A billionaire ranking is not the same thing as cash. It is a mark-to-market estimate of claims on businesses and assets. The habit pattern is also worth separating from the mythology. The useful principles here are enterprise durability, aggressive competition, mission-critical infrastructure, high switching costs. These are not magic personality traits. They are repeatable work behaviors, choosing a hard problem, staying close to the product, using feedback, hiring strong people, managing risk, and making decisions with a longer time horizon than the average competitor. The lifestyle section should stay disciplined. The publicly documented angle is high-end real estate, the purchase of most of Lanai, yachting history, and a taste for ambitious, expensive projects. This belongs in the story because viewers expect it, but it should not become the story. The editorial framing is simple. Lifestyle shows what extreme wealth can buy, while the business engine shows how the wealth was created. The setback section is where the episode earns trust. The known risks and reversals include cloud perception challenges, customer lock-in criticism, enterprise competition, acquisition complexity. These moments matter because wealth stories become misleading when they only show victories. Every empire has pressure points: regulation, execution, public trust, changing technology, debt, competition, succession, or consumer backlash. For ordinary viewers, the lesson is not to imitate billionaire behavior out of context. Most people cannot copy the capital base, access, timing, or tolerance for loss. But they can copy the clearer habits, learn a valuable skill, understand how money flows through a business, build or own productive assets, avoid lifestyle inflation too early, and think in years rather than days. The final beat should be practical, not worshipful. Ask, what did this person understand before most people did? What asset did they own while that insight became obvious to the world? What risk almost broke the story? And what is the smaller version of that lesson that a normal person can actually use? The practical lesson is clear. Wealth at this scale usually comes from ownership in a compounding asset. The viewer does not need billions to use the lesson. They need sharper judgment, useful skills, better risk control, and the patience to build or own things that become more valuable over time.